Hi, I'm Sara and welcome to Hen Corner. Today we're making gnocchi and pesto and we're starting with the garden because we need to gather some ingredients. First, we're collecting eggs from the chickens. Now we're digging potatoes. And here's our chard. We've gathered our ingredients from the garden, the eggs from the chickens, the potatoes, the chard. I've got some garlic that I harvested a couple of weeks ago, and we've got some basil. I can pick some more, and we're nearly ready to get cooking. The first thing we need to do for gnocchi is to get the potatoes boiled. So I'm just going to give them a quick rinse. Boil them in a saucepan of water, and then we can get the rest of our ingredients together and get cooking. Whilst the potatoes are boiling, let's crack on with pesto. Now pesto, whilst it's famously made with basil, can actually be made with a whole load of different ingredients. Pesto, paste, sauce, it's just a case of combining ingredients into something that can transform a dish. So pesto pasta, if you've made it with really good homemade pesto, it's amazing. And so we're making pesto to go with our gnocchi. The main thing we're going to include is our chard that we've grown. So I'm going to start assembling all the contents to go into this container here, and then we're going to blitz it up. So I don't mind the stalks going in, that will give us a bit of texture. I think I'll need the knife though. This goes all into that container. As you can see, we've got considerably more chard than we have basil, but the basil's quite strong in flavour and together they will work really well. Pop in our basil. Don't forget the garlic that we harvested. Whoa. Let's go for a couple of nice big cloves. I am going to cut the cloves roughly to make it a bit easier on the blender. If you're wondering about the size of these cloves, it is from a variety called elephant garlic. They're not normally that big. Next, we're going to put in some lemon juice. Then some hard cheese, Parmesan. Then we'll drizzle on some olive oil. And get blitzing. Now let's taste it and see if we need to adjust the seasoning. It's definitely very green. That's lovely. I'm going to put a bit more cheese and a bit more lemon in. That's really lovely now. I think the potatoes are probably boiled, so I'll put this to one side and we'll start making the gnocchi, and then we can assemble it for the final dish. Our potatoes have boiled beautifully and it's time to make gnocchi. Now gnocchi's a bit similar to pasta, but it's pasta that's got potatoes in it. Now pasta will be flour and eggs, and what we're going to do is we're going to put some potatoes right into the mix. Now I boiled these potatoes whole, so it's time to just peel them gently. I'm going to peel them with a spoon, though to be honest I think they probably don't even need peeling. And then I'm going to put them through a potato ricer. Now you can mash the potatoes if you haven't got a potato ricer, but this does make the potatoes nice and small in the grains. And I'm going to use the smallest setting and pop the potato directly into the potato ricer. Oh, there we go, that's a bit easier to take the peel off. Now, if you remember one of our previous recipes when we were making Spanish tortilla, the omelette, we were talking about the difference between waxy and floury potatoes. And for the Spanish omelette, you want a waxy potato that holds its shape. But for this recipe, floury potatoes, which just, as you can see, they fall apart on cooking. Nice and light and fluffy, are brilliant for mash. We only needed 4 for the recipe, so that's our potatoes, and let's get them through the ricer. Ooh, you can see how small the mash is coming out. Brilliant. Now into this we're going to put some flour, some salt and an egg. So it's 1 teaspoon of salt. I didn't have any salt in the potatoes when I was cooking them. Now the exact quantities is a bit tricky because how big were the potatoes, how big is the egg. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in about 200-250 grams of flour. I'm going to give that a stir around. So this is just potato and flour. Crack in the egg. And again, mix it together. And we want a soft dough. This is not like a bread dough. We don't want to work it. We don't want to develop the gluten. We're just combining the ingredients. And it's not uncommon to have flour and potato together. In fact, when we're short of flour and you're making bread, you can put mashed potato into your bread. And it gives it a moistness and a lovely flavour. And nobody would know. So now we've got a nice soft dough, I'm going to take it out of the bowl. I'm actually just going to flour this work surface slightly because I don't want it to stick. And I'm going to give it a quick knead. So putting it together, a quick knead, not working the dough, it's not like bread, just a quick knead. And then I want to divide it into strips. I'm going to use my cutter here. And then again, so I'm into quarters. And then I want to roll these into little ropes. So gently roll them into ropes. You can put a bit of flour on a tray, ready to prepare them, and then it's just a case of cutting them into little pillows. And these can be left to dry on the tray just until they're all finished, and then we're going to boil them in some hot salty water. This is our tray of gnocchi, all prepared and ready to cook. We've got a lovely pan of boiling water ready to drop these into gently. Don't overcrowd the pan, probably just do enough for one person at a time. Drain it well. Don't want to cook it for too long, just a couple of minutes until the gnocchi balls, the pillows, rise to the surface of the hot water. Then drain it and dress it with that lovely pesto that we've just made. I'm looking forward to my lunch. Our gnocchi is cooked. Just in the boiling water, they drop to the bottom, and then when they're cooked they pop up to the top, and when they're floating they are ready to be drained and served. So here's our gnocchi, here's our pesto, made with lovely goodies from the garden, and this is perfect for a lovely lunch or a super supper. Have a go and let us know how you get on. We'll see you next time.